This is the Getting Into Alignment podcast. Here we play in the quantum world of possibilities. If you desire it, you get to have it. My name is Alexa Ray Smith. I'm a business coach and spiritual teacher for women in business. I'm here to help you unlock your personal power and tap into your magnetism so that you can manifest the most incredible life for yourself and build the business of your dreams. These episodes will help you plug into the energy of infinite potentiality and teach you the tools you need to play in this world where limitations don't exist. On this podcast, I'll be talking to you about energetics, mindset, embodiment, spirituality, money, and business. Everything that you want is on the other side of you getting into alignment. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Getting Into Alignment podcast. This is your host, Alexa Ray Smith. I want to let you know, just as we get started, if you hear any noise in the background, it is because if you are following me on Instagram, you know that I adopted a puppy less than a week ago. And she turned 8 weeks old 2 days ago. So she is a little baby still. And she's currently on my lap. But if you hear any puppy noises, if you hear anything in the background, it's just because I can't close her out. And Ghost, my 7-year-old dog, is fully trained. So she's really good and she's quiet. She knows when mom's recording or when mom's on a video or anything. She's like so good and she's so quiet. So we are in the process of training this one. So I just wanted to start it off right there because I'll start talking and then I'm probably going to forget to tell you and then she'll be making an introduction. So it's been a minute since I've recorded a podcast, and it's honestly because I've been keeping you guys in the loop, right? Like, one thing I really love is when podcast hosts talk about what's going on in their life and they also give you the information, right? Because as we're seeing, and if you're not aware, the coaching world has changed dramatically in the past few months. And it's really going into 2023, going into 2024, going forward, honestly, we're fully enmeshed in the age of Aquarius right now. So we are seeing the world of business completely shift to feminine energetics. Whether you're consciously aware of it or not, it's shifting, it's happening. We have gotten to a point where there is so much information available to us online, in the real world, everywhere. And we're at a point where we know how to find the information if we want it. If you want to have a 10K month in business, you know how to Google that. You know the resources to get. If you want to learn how to manifest, you know where to look for that. You know, anything you want. If you want to lose weight, you know that there's a coach you can find. You know that there's a book you can read. You know that there's a podcast you can listen to. You know that there's a YouTube video. We know where to get the information. So I feel like the information era of coaching and the old school way of traditional sales and marketing and even media is completely dissolving before our eyes, and it is happening quickly. I'm telling you, if you're not paying attention to what's happening in the coaching industry, if you are a coach or you're a business owner, even this is sending a ripple effect throughout business, and it isn't just affecting coaches. It's affecting entrepreneurs. And one thing that I literally get not even goosebumps where they're chills, but the goosebumps where it's just fucking excited. I'm so fucking excited that we are here now. I'm done dealing with the bro marketing. I'm done dealing with people and giving energy away to people that just, quite frankly, are still archaic in their business methods. If you have not gotten onto the wave of feminine energetics, I honestly I have a really strong boundary that I'm unavailable for those conversations. So I'm not going to meet you there. For the first few years of my coaching business, I felt like I had to meet people where they were so that I wasn't too far ahead, so that the principles I talked about weren't too advanced, so that my energy wasn't too much. And it was like, what the fuck? That was a shadow that I had been dealing with throughout my life, that it was like I was told for so long that I was too much, or I was too deep, or my vocabulary was too intense, or my consciousness level was too high, or la la la. And it was like, yeah, of course it fucking was. I grew up in a small, conservative, mostly white town in a rural country town in upstate New York. Like, of fucking course I didn't fit in there. Of course I was told I was too much when I was walking around with a mohawk and combat boots and a tutu on. You know what I mean? Like, I stopped giving a fuck about anyone thought about me before it was even trendy. And one thing that I realized though is there were still some shadows that I was carrying with me in my life and into my business. And I don't like, well, I do know, but there's just too much to give you on like why I have rapidly been changing. But I have been rapidly changing so much, and I'm becoming so much more consciously aware of my patterns, and not just in my life, but I'm now at this level where I'm very consciously aware of the patterns that are playing out in my business. And that's why I kind of and I'm not going to use the term ghosted, but I want to say kind of went MIA on the podcast, because I wanted to make sure that I was giving you information that was really where I'm at, and not through a filtered lens of me still trying to speak through unconscious patterns that I hadn't fully identified and transcended. And I'm not saying like I am this fully woke, conscious mentor now, but what I am saying is the shadow work that I've been doing on myself has now integrated into my business. And yes, like that is majorly because of my coach, Felicity, because of the work that she's been bringing into the world and the work that I've been doing with her. It's just, the level that I'm now playing at, I've been playing at in my life, but the level that I'm now playing at in my business, like, ooh, girl, like we are a whole fucking different person than who we have been. And it's really, really exciting. And I'm so excited to be at this place in my business because I finally feel fully grounded, not just in who I am, because I am this multidimensional being who is a manifesting generator, who is multi-passionate, who loves so many things, who cannot be boxed in. So I've been really working on like who I am, but now this is who the fuck I am in business. Watch out. So if you've been watching me on Instagram, you've seen that I've changed my colors. You've seen that I've changed my messaging a little bit. You probably feel like I've been like, my power has been coming online. And that's what I feel like. I feel like my brand is now an extension of the personal power that I not only hold in my life, but I also hold in my business. And that like would have to be a whole goddamn masterclass. I know in the last podcast, I was really trying to differentiate between like, what am I giving away for free content and what am I giving away in my programs, in my private mentorship, in my high proximity spaces. And I've realized that it doesn't fucking matter. Like, I had been taking business so goddamn seriously because I went to business school, because I worked for the government for 8 years, because I was the person that people spoke to when they royally fucked up their businesses because they were a creator, but they didn't understand business and they didn't understand the entrepreneurship world. And one thing that I went into with my business was like, I'm not going to fuck this up. I'm not going to make all of the mistakes that I saw everyone else making. And then like I saw so many women in the coaching world that were business coaches that were making these mistakes and teaching other women to do it too. And I was like, oh my God, no. And I felt like I just had to scream from the rooftops, like terrible business practices I was seeing. But now I realize, like, I can't save the fucking world. Like, if y'all want to know how to have a sustainable business that's in integrity and is ethical, then like get into my high proximity spaces. But I'm no longer going to talk to the entire coaching world and try and help them out. Like, the Aquarius in me, I have a stellium in Aquarius, is always for the people. But like, I trust now that the people who want to build a business from someone that actually knows business will. And so I like, yes, I'm still taking business seriously, but I'm also not taking my business seriously. And if you can catch that nuance, that's everything. So in business now, it's like, okay, I fucking know how to do business. I know the foundations, I know the bones. Now let's have some goddamn fun with it. So I'm not taking it as seriously. And like, here's the thing is like, I was in problem frequency. Like, if we're being really honest, I was in problem frequency for the first 2 years of my business. And I was trying to like solve these problems, but that meant that I had to identify with these problems and I needed to keep repeating these problems to be able to be the problem solver. And I've now transcended that. And I'm now like, okay, I don't need to create these problems. I can just start creating how I want, setting the standard and accepting and allowing the solutions to come in and make it easy for me to receive. And there's so many things there, but I just want to like catch you guys up to where I am, to the level that I've been playing at, to how my business has been changing behind the scenes. And so that's why like you want to be in my private spaces right now, because so much is happening behind the scenes that you can't possibly keep up in just like an occasional podcast or Instagram or whatever, because I am constantly doing ascension work and grounding work and doing all my spiritual energetics, manifestation, all of that, while simultaneously building a brand, building a multi-million-dollar brand, making insane amounts of money, building a fucking brand that's going to have a global impact. Like, I'm doing big business moves, so I no longer have the availability for small business problems. And if you feel me on that, I might actually have to make that a masterclass. But anyway, so I just wanted to give you a little bit of like behind the scenes. And I want to actually talk to you about something that I had posted about on my Instagram that I just posted. And then I was like, ooh, this needs to be a podcast episode. Like, this is something that really needs to be talked about, because I don't think that I have ever, and like that, and I'm pausing because I'm like, have I ever? And because that's a big statement to say, ever, never. Yeah, I really don't think that I've ever heard anyone, and I've been studying manifestation now for what, like 8 years, like it's been the majority of my studies. And I don't think I've ever heard anyone talk about this. So like, buckle the fuck up. But I want to talk to you today about how you're using manifestation as a scapegoat. Let that one land. Let that one land. Yeah. Are you using manifestation as a scapegoat? So here's the thing. If you listen to the podcast from the very beginning, before I deleted like the first season, I had an episode that said that manifestation isn't a business practice. And while I love manifestation and I absolutely preach and teach and live by it, I don't build my business by it, and neither can you. And what I mean by that is there are business strategies that are required. Now, I'm not going to say there's a single strategy, because literally any strategy can work and can fail. It's always the person behind the strategy, their energy and their mindset and their actions and their expectations that are leading the manifestations and leading the strategy. But you just need to have a strategy, right? Like, you just need to have a consistent strategy, and you just need to stick with it while having energy, belief, and expectation that it's all going to work out. So any strategy will work. And that's why you're never going to see me be like, this is how you make a 10K month. This is how you ... Like, ugh, that's so boring. It's so surface level. And that's why you're seeing the coaching industry steer away from this, Because how many people have taken a program that this is how you make 10K months, and how many people are still not making 10K months? Quite honestly, problem frequency again. But so I want to talk to you about the whole scapegoat aspect. So I see a lot of people like saying, I'm going to manifest this. I'm going to manifest this mentor. When I manifest the money for this mentor, I'm going to hire you. When I manifest the money, I'm going to join this membership. I'm going to join this masterclass. I'm going to join this mastermind. I'm going to launch the business. I'm going to whatever. It's when this occurs in my life, then I will do this. And that is actually the fucking opposite of what manifestation is. So manifestation isn't like, oh, well, I asked the universe for a sign and I asked the universe to give me a blue butterfly if it was going to be a 10K month. And so I'm still waiting for that blue butterfly. And when I see that blue butterfly, I'll know the 10K is coming. And then they're just kind of like sitting on their couch, scrolling on TikTok, looking up every once in a while, hoping to see a blue butterfly. And not actually working on their mindset, working on their energetics, or taking action and to actually make things happen. And now, a lot of the principles in manifestation and business are similar, but again, the nuance. One is strategy and one is manifestation. Manifestation is a life practice. Strategy is a business building practice. So you have to understand that, like in my world, because I'm a spiritual teacher and I am a business coach, these overlap and they're very distinct. So in my world, if you're not very conscious to the nuances that I speak of, you might get confused. And I'm no longer going to take the time to explain that. I'm going to let you meet me. I'm going to let you meet me where I'm at. And I'm going to leave that there. Instead of where I used to try and meet you so that you could meet me at the level that I'm at, that doesn't actually work. I'm going to trust that you are understanding these codes. You're getting the wisdom from here. You're getting the consciousness shifts. And if not, I trust that you're going to come back to this when you're ready. So many people in their life are not getting what they want because they're using manifestation as a scapegoat. So many people in business are not getting what they want because they're still using manifestation as a scapegoat. So manifestation isn't a business practice. So you can't use manifestation as a scapegoat in your business. You are either building a business, working on yourself, realizing that the internal work is 75% and the external doing the damn things is the 25%. And what I mean by that is because your mindset and your energetics are so fucking important that if you have a shit mindset and you've got wobbly energetics, it doesn't matter how much you do. You could do for 18 hours a day and you could just be burnt out, stressed out, and going bankrupt. Or you could do for 3 hours a day and you could be at $1 million month right now because you have foundationally worked on your mindset and your energetics and you've been building them to the point where you don't need to do as much because your energetics and your frequency are creating your reality. So it's this, when we're building a business, it's this balance between the internal work and the external action. And where I see a lot of people go wrong is they do too much external action and not enough internal work. Or they just get so focused on the internal work that they're not taking any action, which then basically ends up sending them right back, like as if they got shot back to zero because they did all this internal work, but because they didn't build anything in their business, all of a sudden it just like they have a 360 and a 180 and they go backwards and they're like, oh my God, nothing is working and I suck and I'm terrible because I'm not making any money and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, I just see that there's so many people in manifestation and in the business world that are one, trying to manifest, and they're not manifesting anything, and they're just like frustrated because nothing's coming to them. Or in the business world, they're doing all of these things and they're frustrated because the money, the clients, the results, they're just not there. And I have found through coaching, through observing all of it, that 100% of the time it's because the person is still waiting. They're still using something outside of them as a scapegoat. Oh, the strategy isn't working. It's the strategy's fault. Oh, the manifestation didn't arrive yet. It's the universe's fault. And it's like, what if you just stopped doing that? What if you took your power back and you stopped waiting for the sign, you stopped waiting for the manifestation, you stopped waiting for the client, you stopped waiting for the money, you stopped waiting for something outside of you to give you permission or validation to make the move that you know is necessary for you to become the person and become the business owner that you desire to be. Because here's the thing is, waiting makes you feel like you're powerless, and your unconscious might actually love that. Like, you might have a secondary gain out of the fact that you don't want to be responsible. So you're not building the business because in the back of your mind, you feel like having a business means that you have to be more responsible, and maybe responsibilities still scare you. So you'd rather just play the irresponsible card and scapegoat on manifestation. So like, if you're unaware, a scapegoat is basically when you blame something for your circumstances, which is the exact opposite of what manifestation is, right? Manifestation is saying you're the fucking CEO of your life. You get to choose, you get to decide the quality of life you have, the results that you have. Like, you're literally consciously or unconsciously creating this reality at all fucking times. So are you consciously creating it, or are you unconsciously blaming things outside of you for what you don't have yet? Because everything that's showing up in your life right now, you are benefiting from in some way, shape, or form. And I had a TikTok video that like popped off and people got really upset with me. And they got really triggered when I said that. But that's the first step in shadow work, is becoming conscious. And the first step is having awareness so that you can take accountability. If you aren't aware, you can't become accountable. And if you don't become accountable, you can't actually change your reality. So while manifestation is super fun and super trendy, you can't actually manifest if you aren't doing the deep internal work. And while building a business is really fun and really sexy, especially in the coaching world, where we are defying any and all money teachings, because money is just energy, and the world was playing and teaching us about money as paper, but now we know that money is energy, so watch the fuck out. And yeah, that's super fun, that's really exciting. Like, there's more women than ever having $1 million months, and that is so fucking dope. But if you aren't actively day in and day out consistently building a brand, if you're not showing up on social media, if you're not creating offers, if you're not selling daily, if you're not doing the internal work to stop having dopamine hits off of likes and engagement and sales and signups and all of these things, it's going to be very difficult for you to actually have a brand that makes $1 million. It's like everyone's still looking for this quick fix. Show me how to quickly make 10K a month. Show me how to quickly manifest 10K. And it's like, no, I can't actually quickly do that, because in order for me to quickly teach you how to do that, and in order for you to quickly be able to do that, you have to have done years worth of work on yourself, on your business. Like, these women that are making insanely high, whatever it is for you, if a 20K month is a high month for you, if a 50K month is a high month for you, if a 100K month is a high month for you, if 500K is a high month, if $1 million month is a high month for you, like, whatever number is high for you, and whatever coach comes to your mind when you're like, damn, I can't believe the amount of money she's making, guaranteed, before that woman had even made 100K in her business, She had done years worth of work to get to know herself, to love herself, to build her confidence, to trust her ability to speak, to know how to sell, to know how to market herself, to know how to create programs, to know how to connect with the community, to know how to communicate. Like, it wasn't just one thing she learned and then one day she hit 10K. It was this consistent dedication to becoming a better version of herself and a better business owner day in and day out that allows her to now be able to make $1 million a month and possibly only be working actively 6 hours in a week. It's the women that are making insane high big money and in such like a little amount of time with such little work. They're able to do that because they did so much work on themselves and so much work on themselves as a business owner. Your business is literally the biggest mirror to your personal development. And that's what a lot of women don't understand, that if you're going to be a coach, if you're going to be a mentor, if you're going to be a healer, the coaching industry is literally put your money where your mouth is. I have never seen that more than in the coaching industry, because congruency, integrity, you being in alignment with what you're preaching. It's not like people on social media that are judging you about that alignment, about that congruency, about that integrity. It's the universe. Are you actually in integrity day in and day out when the camera's off, when no one's looking? And so many women are only focusing on what they're doing and how they're showing up when they're showing up. And that's the problem, because your business isn't just a 9 to 5 where you get to walk in and then clock out. You're always on the clock. And I don't mean that in a way that you always need to be working, like actively doing something. And I mean that in the way that if you aren't actively conscious and actively becoming a more conscious being, then you're going to see that play out in your business. And a lot of the times, people are seeing things in their business that they don't want to see, and it's because they're still running away from themselves and doing the work that they're being called to do so that they can transcend karma, so that they can transcend things that they asked to learn in this lifetime. Like, we are literally multidimensional humans that came to Earth to live an experience full of feeling. And feeling means that we need to have polarities, because in order for us to feel, we need to actually slow down the energetics of the universe to see form and to feel things. And so many people are running away from feeling and then throwing themselves into their business without feeling these things, or without transcending them, or without actually looking at it. And then they're getting frustrated while they're building their business, and they're getting frustrated while they're creating offers, then they're getting frustrated while no one's signing up, or they're getting frustrated while they're setting a manifestation and the manifestation isn't coming. And then it's like the first sign that it's like, okay, no one's signing up, I'm not going to teach this. Or I'm trying to manifest 10K and $0 have come in, so this isn't working. It's just like, we're so quick to accept defeat, and we're so quick to blame something outside of ourselves, which is ultimately you just giving your power away. So I want you to start clocking when you do this. Like, when are you still giving your power away to the universe, to your clients, to your potential clients, to your business, to the algorithm, to whatever it is? But like, what are you still blaming for your reality? Because the fastest you can stop blaming someone else and you can start looking at how you're actually getting a gain out of it, how you're actually showing up, how you're actually thinking, how you're really truly being, the quicker you can become aware, take accountability, and break the pattern so that you can show up differently. And in my eyes, breaking a pattern is literally you learning the lesson, deciding that you're going to live differently, and setting a new standard. And I see so many women setting a new standard, or setting a manifestation goal, or setting a business goal. And then when they're like 3 days into the month, they drop that standard because they're like, oh, well, it's not happening anyway. And that's not actually a standard though, right? Like that's not actually something you're trying to manifest, because manifestation is a way of life. It's a way of being. It's who you are. So if you're deciding to be someone differently, then you wouldn't give up when the outside world doesn't meet you there, because you would know that the outside world is still recalibrating to meet you at your new energetic level, at your new standards. And it can't meet you immediately just because of the time delay. Like, it's a good thing that we don't manifest absolutely everything we think about right in the second we do, because we are humans. And sometimes we think dumb shit. And sometimes even the most conscious human has to be like, no, actually, I don't want to think that. And then it could be like 2 seconds. And then you could think about it and then it would manifest. And if it was something terrible, we wouldn't want that. So, like, the lag time is a good thing. But can you hold your faith in the lag time? Because your faith is what actually determines what's going to be created in your reality. That's why when you hear me talk about manifestation, I talk about expectations. Like, everyone wants to get so hyped up on the law of assumption, but the law of assumption is just acting as if. Like, we've always talked about acting as if in the manifestation community, but Generation Z, X, whatever they are, the millennial, no, I don't, whatever. They didn't like the acting as if term. So they just changed it to the law of assumption, but it's all the same goddamn principles. Are you energetically aligning with what you want? And are you expecting it to be yours? And are you believing it no matter what? Like, it doesn't matter what term we put on it. The principles and the energetics behind it are the same. So I want you to really think about, where are you still giving your power away? Where are you still blaming the universe? Where are you still blaming your business? Where are you still blaming the algorithm? Where are you still blaming your lack of followers, your lack of money, your lack of time? Like, notice how quickly you go to blame something. And I want you to start setting an intention that you're not going to do that anymore. That when you notice that you start to blame something outside of yourself, set the intention today that you are going to notice, and then you're going to start becoming accountable. So that way you can change the pattern, so you can break it. So that way you can start becoming a conscious leader, so you can become a conscious business owner, let alone a conscious human being, because, like, we're all connected. Our consciousness level and the consciousness of this planet and the happiness and the health and the prosperity and the abundance and all of the high frequency feelings that we are born to experience, we're going to be able to experience them on the collective if we can all just do this work on an individual level. So the more conscious you become, whether you realize it or not, you're literally helping to shift the collective forward into a new paradigm. So that way the age of Aquarius is how we live. So that way the younger generations are going to grow up learning that money is inherently theirs, learning that their passions are put in them because that's what they're meant to do with it, because they're meant to do what they love to do and bring what they love to do online and bring it to the world. So that way they can be paid handsomely. So that way they can live the most magnificent life. So that way they can build whatever they want to build and do whatever they want to do and experience whatever they want to do. Like, we are literally at the very final stages of breaking down all of the traditional archaic laws and rules and all of the limitations and lack, but it's up to us as an individual to make sure that we drive that home. And that's why I'm so passionate about merging all of these things together and talking to you about manifestation and about business and about energetics and about changing your goddamn life and your power. Like, you're never just going to hear me talk about one thing, because it's never the one thing. It's all of the things that allow the one thing. So I feel like this was almost a sermon. Like, something was like, you need to get this message out here. So I hope that this message was for you. Like, let me know how this one lands for you. Let me know if this had, like, honestly, like, I want to know, were you called out? Did this trigger you? Are you like, fuck, Alexa, you're right. Like, I have been doing this. Because, and quite honestly, like, all of the women that I've talked to, when they aren't where they want to be yet in business, when they aren't where they want to be yet in their manifestations, it's because they're still waiting. They're not taking accountability, and they aren't deciding what they want, declaring that it is theirs, and taking action in the energy of, yes, I get to fucking have this. Of course it gets to be mine. Why wouldn't it? This is so much fun. Let's fucking go. And then living their best lives and creating their best business. And the women that have the most successful businesses, that have the most iconic brands, they literally just stopped giving a fuck about what anybody thought of them. And they just started bringing their magic and their potency online, and they know that they have something to give to the universe. They know that their mindset, they know that their consciousness, they know that their awareness, they know that them as an individual is going to fucking change the world, and they're showing up like that. Whereas I find the women who haven't made the consistent 10K or haven't broken through to like a 50K month yet, they're still playing by these really serious of, oh my God, did I post at the right time? Do I have enough hashtags? Did I use the right words in my marketing? Oh my God, is that price too much? Is that price not enough? Like problem frequency. You are available for what you're getting. So if you're not getting what you desire, take an honest look at what you're available for. And if confidence is something where you're like, dang, you're right. Like it really is like my confidence. I'm just not confident in being able to deliver what I have to say. I'm not confident in believing in myself enough. I'm not confident to trust that I can hold space for others, that I can teach others, that I can really do this. Then you need to jump into I Don't Give a Fuck right now. My confidence program, we are in week 2 right now, and you'll get instant access to week 1, where we talk all about fuck-withable confidence and really being authentic as fuck, and how being authentic as fuck is what leverages you to magnetize clients and money into your world. It's literally the magnetic frequency. So I teach you my confidence sequence that I developed when I was in 7th grade, and I have been developing ever since. And these past 2 years, but really this past year, has been me integrating that into my business. And whew, that is just like a conversation that brings chills to my body, like actual goosebump chills, because it's just so profound. So I Don't Give a Fuck is a 3-week program. You can join right now. You will get instant access to day 1 and the homework. And it's literally going to just bring this whole new level of you online. And it's quite possibly the most powerful program that I have taught yet to date. This is the program that's going to talk to you about authenticity, about magnetism, about confidence, about showing up as a confident CEO, about being a confident coach, about being a confident woman. Like, this is confidence in all of the levels, in the energetics of it, in the mindset of confidence, in the strategy behind confidence. This is the program for you if you are a business owner or even a woman who lacks confidence, because this is going to change the standards that you allow in your life. And this program alone is going to help you be accountable and no longer allow you to even be a scapegoat, because you're going to be so fucking consciously aware of when you're in your power and when you're out of your power, and when you're in confidence, in a high confidence frequency, or when you're in a low confidence frequency. Like, you're going to nail that just in day 1 alone. So this literally is so fucking powerful, and the price is going up tomorrow. I still have this price, as it was only a 3-day program when I first was going to bring this online. And then I decided to actually bring the business conversation in, not just the personal confidence. So honestly, I can't even fucking believe that you can get this program for less than $700 right now. Like, literally day 1 is worth that entire price. So jump in right now. I'm going to launch this podcast today on Tuesday, March 14th. So if you sign up for I Don't Give a Fuck before tomorrow, you will get in at $6.99. And then tomorrow it's going up majorly. It's probably going to double in price tomorrow. If we're being fully honest, probably going to go up to $1,200 tomorrow, because it's just so insanely low. I can't even believe it. Anyway, so if you haven't heard, because I don't know that I've talked about this on the podcast, I now have a year-long membership. So if you are interested in getting in my world for all of the things, if you want to be in all of my masterclasses, if you want to be in all of my programs, if you want to be in all my evergreen programs, like you will get instant access to every single one of my evergreen programs if you join my year-long membership, which is called Lightyear. And this is going to help you quantum leap and into your business at hyper speed. So this is really for you if you are a spiritual entrepreneur who is new in business or is in business or wants to start a business, and you're really looking for the mindset, the energetics, the business building, the consciousness, the spirituality, like all of it. I don't teach business the way really I've heard anyone ever teach business. So if you're a woman who really wants to learn how to navigate feminine energetics, if you want to learn more about your human design, if you want to really start becoming the creator of your reality and doing big business moves, then this is the year to get in my world, because I am telling you, by this time next year, if you slept on this, when you see where I'm at, you're going to be like, fuck. Because right now you can, so basically if you join Lightyear right now and you do the monthly payment, you would be paying just for I don't give a fuck, and you would get access to all of my evergreen programs right now, which is just fucking insane. Like, I don't know a lot of coaches that give you access to everything they've ever created, and I literally give you access to everything I've ever created. And that's so powerful because you get to see me at all of the levels. Like, Soul Manifestation is the first program I created, and I created that program like when I just quit my career for the state of New York. So you'll see me at the very foundational manifestation levels and personal development and shadow work. And then you're going to see me like all the way until now into deep energetics, to deep fucking personal building of yourself and to building a big business. I don't even know. Like, there's just so much that I can't even put it into words, but I just want to put it out on the podcast because I don't think I've spoke of it yet. If you're interested in getting in my world for all of the things, you can join Lightyear at either a monthly rate or you can join it for the entire year, and you will get access to everything I already have released and everything I will release for the next 12 months, which is just fucking major because I cannot even tell you everything that's coming online right now. Like, literally so much magic. If you have any questions about any of it, feel free to I need to get off now because my voice is starting to die. I have been sick. If you have any questions about anything, just hit me up in the DMs. I'm always available for any conversations about that. If you want to sign right up, just go to my website, alexaraysmith.com. If you're not following me on social media, you can hit me up there, Alexa Ray Smith, on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. And also, if you're not following the podcast, make sure you subscribe to Getting Into Alignment on Apple Podcast. All right, I love you guys so much, and we'll talk soon. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you're ready to go deeper and to get into my world, you can go to my website, alexaraysmith.com. You'll find all of my current programs on there. If you're desiring to get mentored by me, then the best thing to do is shoot me a DM on Instagram, and we can talk about mentorship options and which one's the best fit for you. If you're absolutely loving this podcast, please go rate it 5 stars and let me know why you're loving it. This will help me share the podcast with more people. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, and until the next episode, keep manifesting the most incredible life.